All right.
Okay, good evening, ma.
Good evening, Opeoluwa.
It's my pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so very
So
much.
much pleasure. So much pleasure.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so I know you're a nurse.
I
And,
am.
so, and I know you've had several experiences with relocation to UK, to Australia, to several other locations. So tonight, I just want us to, shed some light. I want you to shed some light into relocation to Australia, knowing fully well that UK is really coming up with a lot of challenging rules. Yeah, challenging rules. But I think I got some information recently about they'll begin. I know they are going to change or turn down some of those rules
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
to
Because
an
of,
extent
I
they are
think some
beginning.
people are already suing
Yeah.
the
Apart from that,
government.
they're already feeling some heat, especially from the student aspect of the rules. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm already seeing that. So,
yeah.
but irrespective of whatever, I believe that, like you used to say, there are 1,001 places to go.
So I have a quote from you
So
already.
I don't know, I don't know where that one used to come from, but there's always a one. Okay, so tonight I just wanted to help shed some light to relocation to Canada. I mean, to Australia.
Okay.
What do you think people who wants to relocate to do if they happen to be nurses? Because recently I know that I've got a lot of nurses in my cycle, and they are just so much interested. So please just give us the guide, the step by step, what to do, how to make this relocation journey a success for Australia. So you have the floor.
All right. Thank you so much, Opeyemi. I'm happy to be on your channel. This is actually the first time I'll be on your channel, and I'm really glad you've been doing so well for yourself. And I believe you continue to wax stronger and stronger in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Nurses migration to Australia is not a child's play. It's financially tasking. It's a very big job of the brain to be done there to get things rolling. There are pathways, different pathways that people can take to move to Australia as registered nurses in their home nations. Could be through New Zealand, which we still believe is the easiest and is the cheapest,
Okay.
and used to be the easiest. We are expecting it to remain so with the new pathways that they rolled out on December 4th. That's New
Okay.
Zealand. Because once people secure New Zealand registration, it just take filling of form, making a payment to just convert it to Australian registration. And people can actually think of going through Australia pathways straight from their home countries. Some people will not need to do too much to gain this if they are in Australia's sister countries like New Zealand, Canada, Ireland, that's Republic of Ireland, the
Okay.
United States of America, Singapore, and the United Kingdom. People that have been trained in those countries will not need to stretch extremely like those of us that were not trained in such countries. So to those who were not trained, what they will need to do will be to have a way they will get their registrations done. First thing will be to create accounts. If people are going through the New Zealand registration pathway, create accounts, pay 300 US dollars, and they will send you forms. We leave the link here so that you can make your decision. Fill the form, upload the documents they need you to, follow the instructions there sensibly, you'll be fine. And then once they are ready with the information, they will pass you to the second stage. But then let me tell you the components of the first phase. Will be
Okay.
your identity documentation, your verification with your home country, your qualification upload, your English test reports, your identity you are presenting to international passport and any other one, and you must notarize them with a notary public, or you use the notary cam. The notary cam is always on that site where you are filling your form and uploading things. I think it's about $40 or something. So if you are struggling to get a notary public, just use that. Save yourself a lot of headache. And your qualification, you can upload your document. You can do self-upload of documents these days. Your practice, upload your reference letters, upload your letter of employment. If you have letters of promotion, put them in and you'll be fine. Then your English test could be IELTS or occupational English test. If you are picking IELTS, you must have 7 in listening, reading, and speaking, and 6.5 in writing. Interestingly, you can couple as many as 4 results, and they
Wow.
don't have any minimum band that you must score. So far, you are able to gain that band in any other exam within 12 months. All the results must be within 12 months. And also it goes for occupational English test, the equivalent of 6.5 in writing and equivalent of band 7, which 6.5 in writing is 300, and equivalent of 7 in IELTS, which is 350 for OET in the remaining 3 modules. You can couple 4 reports too. Once CGFNS is fine, they assess your documents, they are happy with it, they pass it back to you to look at, and you approve. If you are comfortable with what's been done there, you approve it and you send it on, I mean, and you send it back to CGFNS. Then CGFNS will now transfer it to the New Zealand Board of Nursing. Once that's been done, New Zealand Board of Nursing will reach out to you to welcome you and ask you to take 2 free course modules, uh, just so to acculturate you with what New Zealand world is all about and some nursing practices there. It's easy. You'll be certificated for that. And then your assessment will begin. At that stage, you will pay 485 New Zealand dollars to the board, and they will assess your document. These days, they said that's going to last for 3 months. In those days, it used to be once they have your document by the 20th, they will send you your assessor. Once your assessor gets back to you, they will say you should expect your result within 45 days. But then it used to be like within 24 hours, you actually get the report
Wow.
and your PIN will be with you almost within the space of time that you've accepted the report.
Okay.
So those are the things. Once you are done with this, you now move to the third phase. Now, what is happening at this stage is if you are in the new system, once the board is ready with you, they will send, once the board is ready for you, they've assessed your document, they are happy that, okay, you can do our registration. They will send you information to do a computer-based test, CBT.
Okay.
And after that, they will, if you've passed CBT, we are still hoping those centers will be available all around the world, because we are still not very sure how they are going to do it. The centers they are going to use, we still don't know the format the questions will be taken, but some of us are thinking it will be like UK format, or what in worst case scenario will be USA
Format.
style. That's the NCLEX or UK CBT test. So once the person have passed that one, and they will now progress them to come over to write OSCE. OSCE, you will be trained for 2 days face to face in New Zealand, and you will go on ahead to do the OSCE for 3 hours. Once you've passed, you get your PIN. That's if you are coming from those countries that are not New Zealand sister countries. If you are coming from the New Zealand sister countries, after CGFNS have finished your assessment, next thing is for the board to just progress you. Then they will issue After you are done with the modules, then they will give you PIN. That's what they will do. That's what they
Wow.
did for us. But now, those who are coming from other parts of the world are the ones that are discussed. So once you are done with the stage of OSCE, you've passed, then you will need to do international criminal history check. That's being handled, it's been contracted to fit to work. And all you just need is fill your form, make a payment. It was like £176 at the last time. The money is in Australian dollars, but whatever the conversion you are using, the currency you are using, last time it was about £176, and the rate will depend on what is happening at that point in time. Once you are done with that, criminal checks and all those things, they are satisfied with you, then you get your PIN. That is the new system.
Wow.
For those who were in the old system, I don't think we need to say much about them because they
Right.
possibly knew all these things. That's possibly why they are in the old system. Now, for those who want to actually move to Australia or get Australian registration, once you get your PIN, just go on and fill a form on APRA website and Trans-Tasmania Mutual Relationship form. I think it's August 40 form, can't remember clearly or whatsoever. Once you fill that form, they will progress you to making payment. You made the payment, then you should expect your PIN at any point in time. You are not even going to submit anything at all. Just fill the form, submit, because they are able to see everything you've done. I mean, they just agree with the PIN that New Zealand board has given you. They are happy with that.
Okay, okay. So I've
Yeah.
been trying to say, oh, sorry for cutting you. I've been trying to say you've been talking about New Zealand, New Zealand, New Zealand from the beginning. And at some point, I was now waiting for you to, land and see where Australia comes in. So it looks as if they are mothers and sisters.
Yes, they are brothers, according to them.
Yeah, but
And that's where the relationship comes in. In
yeah,
fact, as a matter of fact, any relationship, any certification or any registration you have in Australia, you can convert it to New
wow,
Zealand registration through
wow,
that same process.
wow.
And any registration you have in New Zealand, you can convert it to that of Australia through that process.
Okay.
Any of Australia you have, you can convert it to that of New Zealand through that same process.
Okay, so I want to believe that this live meeting or this video now is actually a two-in-one. Because for anybody who wants to go to New Zealand, then it means this is definitely valid.
Yeah.
And if you want to also go to Australia, you just a step forward.
Yeah,
So it's
because
fine.
in those days to do Australia pathway used to be very, very tasking financially, and the yaga was even too much. So New Zealand is sort of like a mother and helping everyone sort of and making the journey easy. But now we are expecting the cost of CBT and NOSCI. We are hopeful that it will not break people's neck
Yes.
because the cost of Australia pathway is quite exorbitant. Now, if people just want to do the Australia pathway from Nigeria, create account with APRA, you will need to make a payment. So when you've created that account, you just create it directly, but ensure you've passed your English test, and the English test is band 7, minimum of band 7 across board, or minimum of 350 across board in all the modules. You can combine only 2 results, and if you are combining, none of the reports must be less than 6.5 or 300 if it is OET, or 6.5 if it is IELTS. So you must have that before you even start the process. Then, in the own process, you will need uh, to actually write NCLEX. Either you are writing NCLEX, Australian NCLEX, or if you have written Canada NCLEX before or written USA NCLEX before, you can then convert it to Australia,
Clear.
write APRA, and they will know how to bring you into them to do that. Once you are done with that, you will need to sit an MCQ exam in Australia. That's if you haven't written NCLEX before.
Okay.
That's that's the Australian NCLEX. But if you have written, they will progress you to booking for your OSCE. You will book for OSCE. That OSCE is 4,000 Australian dollars. Yeah, that OSCE is 4,000 Australian dollars. And their own NCLEX, if you have not written USA or Canada NCLEX, their own NCLEX is 4,400 Australian dollars. Yeah. So the assessment process, everything, the document they need you to submit, we have everything on this. We give you the link so that you can have a look. And the OSCE are written 4 times in a year, in February, in July, in September, and November. So if you want to do it, you must target any of those months.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if the slots are filled up, you may need to wait till 2025.
Wow.
So their journey is sort of, if
Yeah.
people have the money, it's not bad, but for people who do not have the money, it might be quite challenging. Then you need to go with a visiting visa or visitor visa to Australia to go and take that OSCE or NCLEX exam, whichever one or both of them. And once you've passed OSCE, then APRA will just look at your documents and then grant you registration. The moment you get your registration, then you can now go on ahead and apply and put in your expression of interest that you want to come over to practice in Australia, or you can look for an employer to give you job or to nominate you for job. If you are going through an employer nominated pathway, that's fine. I will advise you look towards visa 186, which is permanent residency employer nominated visa.
Okay, Mr.
But if you want 186, but if you want to do an independent visa, skilled independent migration pathway, is a different ball game. And I think we might need to do another update at that entirely, because that one will actually involve everyone that is actually looking at practicing in Australia. It is the same way that the person who is a nurse or the person who is a bricklayer, the person who is a carpenter can get into that skill migration pathway. So I will say we should not lump it with this one.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
Okay. So I think
Yeah.
it's a lot of information all in one.
Yeah.
But it's so good to know that you have all this information upstairs. Like everything is just steady. You're just dishing it. So it looks as if everything is stocked up stage by stage.
I have 2 tons. You'll be seeing ATM at some point. Yeah, those are the real my G Jolowo when it comes to Australia things. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so
Mm.
what I would say is that first of all, for people that want to go to Australia,
Mm.
if the option of New Zealand shows up, then I think it's advisable for them to embrace it, right?
It is. And one beautiful thing about New Zealand is I've seen people who did not even know they need to even create accounts that New Zealand gave job. All they did was package their CV very well, put the CVs on Indeed.com, put the CVs on LinkedIn, advertise themselves on Facebook that they need jobs, and recruiters reached out to them.
Wow.
Yeah. I've seen someone who said it was after they wanted to interview her. She said she did not even take it with all seriousness, because she never heard about New Zealand before. That even her siblings, they were outside Nigeria in 2 different nations, they never heard about New Zealand before. So the day they said they would interview her, she said there was no light. She just put lamp on her head. She would do something. She said when they finish and they said they would send her the report, the result of her interview, that she started was father-in-law. She would have put on generator. She got the job. She's there
Whoa.
already. Yeah, it was after then that they now told her, go and create CGFNS account. They were even thinking maybe she will write her English test when she gets to New Zealand, but she said she still had enough time. Let her kuku do that test back in Nigeria. And she did this and she passed. And I'm sure if I chat her, maybe she's almost through with her cap now.
Wow.
Instead of waiting so long and be receiving so much information on negative
Yeah,
information
yeah.
report from the UK, people should look at that part of the world. On my phone tonight, I slept for a while. I have got a message from one of the recruiters in New Zealand saying, "Hi Folashade, it's me, so name from Tewatora." Their Tewatora is like our UK NHS or Nigerian Ministry of Health in
Yeah.
New Zealand. One of our districts are trying to get hold of you. Are you still interested in living and working in New Zealand? It is that big. They need people. I remember discussing with this lady, and she was telling me they need at least about 4,000 nurses to
Wow.
fill in the spaces they are looking for.
Wow.
Yes. So I would just say, and there are sites people can reach out to. Kiwi Jobs is there, Seek.com is there, Randstad is there, your Indeed is there, Glassdoor, many sites that people can look towards.
Uh, please, ma'am. You said kiwijob.com, Glassdoor, which other one did you mention?
Randstad,
I don't know about Randstad.
Randstad, yeah, you might not know, but it's there. It's
L
just the
A.
same way. Randsstad.
Okay.
Seek.com, like seek and find.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. Okay.
So, yeah, that is it.
No problem, ma. So please, ma, you mentioned about some links,
Yeah,
and I will
definitely. I
appreciate.
will send the links across to you so that you can
Okay.
put them there. And if
Yeah,
people have questions, let them ask questions. We'll
no
be able to
problem.
take them through. And I think to me, with all the positive testimonies I've had about New Zealand, I might possibly prefer that land to some other places.
Okay.
Mm.
No problem. So maybe we should be open that with the message you got, maybe there will be a another migration.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
I don't
fine because there are jobs everywhere. There are jobs
yeah.
that people do not even put hearts into. Bricklaying,
Wow.
carpentry, hairdressing, welder, fitters, all these people, they are there and they are giving them jobs
Wow.
and even ready to sponsor them. And just
Wow.
today, one of my big uncle was telling me about two people that migrated in as care assistants.
Wow.
So, yeah,
Wow, that's a lot of okay. So I believe that people would definitely embrace this opportunity, especially shared here today, and give it a shot. I tell people that if you don't try it, you will not know what's up. Just
yeah.
give it a try. Start the process, you know. So I want to say thank you for having me
Thank you,
today. I don't
Ogbeyemi.
know if okay. You mentioned something about $40 in the course of the conversation for something, payment for something. I can't remember.
Notary camp, because your passport documents, international passport, and another means of identification, you are to notarize them. You can
Okay.
use face-to-face notary public,
Okay.
but some Nigerian notary publics are really very expensive too.
Okay.
I've taken my documents to a notary public in Osogbo when we were searching for notary public here and there, and the man billed me 60,000. And I
Oh,
just like, waiting, Kilagbe Kilaju. And the man was even bugaing. My husband was begging him to take 35,000. He later said he would take 50.
wow.
So I just remember that I have a justice of the peace in my family because Australia actually accepted either your documents are notarized by justice of the peace or notary public, or if you are in Australia, there are people that can actually notarize for you easily. So it was a tug of war for me to get notary public. Eventually, I had to use someone in Ile-Ife, and the Baba's service was quite cheap and it was very lovely. Such
Wow.
that what this woman wanted to do for me for 60,000, by the time I was done with Baba, I think it was maybe about 2,400.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah,
2,400 to 60,000.
yeah. It
That's
was that.
huge.
And see, Ilesha to Ife.
Sincerely, that's so much. Wow. Anyways, I believe that our
So
people.
people that cannot do that, if you can't, if you are in the UK, you can do it. You can do your notarization in post offices. They do it and it is acceptable. Uh but if you can't get any of those things, use Notary Cam. It's just you putting your document and scanning it, and you clicking on the camera. The link that you will use to create account will even give you link to that Notary Cam.
Oh, okay.
So it's like notary camera or something like that that will
Okay.
cite you, that we endorse and all those things, or
Okay.
cite your documents and endorse.
Wow.
It's expensive. To be fair, it's really expensive because the person I knew that did it last time paid $40, which you can actually avoid. And if you are in Nigeria, I still have contacts with the notary public in Ile-Ife. They
Okay.
can do it.
Okay.
You just take your documents to them and they cite the documents and
Okay.
sign them.
No problem. All of these links, as question as the need arises, I will definitely reach out to you. And for anyone watching this video, please, if you think you need any of the links to this information, it will just be dropped in the maybe the comment section or the or the description page. Either ways, you get the information. So, thank you once again, Mentor Shade of many years. Thank you so much for creating this time to share light to this information. A lot of people are in. I tell people that opportunities are everywhere. But
Everywhere.
once you don't find yourself, once you are not positioned to get it, Otiloni, that's gone.
Support the law.
So, but thank you so much for staying awake to this time to just share this information.
Thank
Well,
you.
we'll definitely pursue it.
Yeah,
We'll definitely-
definitely. I believe in you guys.
Yeah. So I tell people that God is everywhere. Everywhere you
He
go.
is.
Yeah, you can serve your God everywhere. Some people just, hide under the canopy of God is everywhere. It's in UK like this. It's everywhere, isn't
He
it?
is. So you
So
guys have need God seriously.
in fact, UK UK needs God big time. So thank you for your time, ma. I really,
Thank you,
really
Dan.
do appreciate, and I wish you good success in your career path too.
Thank you.
Great
I wish
advice.
you success too.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma.
Guys, subscribe to Okpeyemi's channel.
Thank you so much,
Subscribe,
ma.
subscribe, subscribe, subscribe.
Thank you so
Yes,
much,
because
ma.
it's got lots of information to share with you. We'll be coming back to discuss migration pathway for the trade group people,
Okay.
bricklayers, carpenters,
I think.
welders,
Okay.
plumbers,
Wow.
fitters. We'll come back to do that.
No
At some
problem.
point, we do it for those who are in the field of agriculture,